everyone! Old School Pokemon here, back again with the PokeFlipz podcast, joined by my usual co-host, KetchumAllCollectibles Dan. Yeah, no, I was gonna say joined by a special guest, but no, how are you doing, Dan?
I'm special. I mean, come on. I will say though, it is a very special episode. Didn't really realize it until I was going in and editing episode 77. This is like the end of season 3. This is episode 26. Every other week. That's how many 52 weeks in a year. So yeah, this is the final one of season 3. Next episode with whatever guest we end up having on will be the start of our 4th year. And my YouTube came out of the gate with PokeFlipz episode 1. So this is 3 years. Cheers to 3 years on YouTube for me, I guess. How are you doing? I'm doing good with all that.
I'm doing well. I'm excited to get through this week and get into next week. Next week, or I guess this
weekend.
This week,
yeah,
this weekend is gonna be such a good time. I am so looking forward to this. It'll be nice to be able to take a little bit, not quite a break, but a little bit of a break from just the day-to-day stuff, I guess. Today was busy. I had so many orders to ship out over the long weekend. It's been a brutal day.
Yeah, I had 4 scan forms for my post office because usually you do it at the end of the day, like when you're heading to the post office on eBay. Well, I did that yesterday. I forgot it was President's Day. My son and my wife have the whole week off. It's like midwinter recess. I don't know if that's an international thing for schools, but I'm pretty sure it's a Northeast thing. They give us a week off in February sometime, and then spring break is like in April sometime usually. So yeah, I went to the post office, and well, I didn't fully get there, and then I realized what I had done. So I already had the car loaded up and had a bunch more to throw in this morning. It was a good weekend of sales. So I did my normal, not every time, but most times, my normal pre-Collecticon routine is to like send out offers. So as I go to pack what I'm going to bring, it's like, let me send out a 10 to 20% offer, depending on what it is. And if it goes at that, let it go. And then if it doesn't, I'll pull it from eBay and I'll bring it with me. So that's the strategy I took. Again, quite a few sales, decent little bump in sales. And I've got most stuff packed. I think I've got enough packed that if I just bring that, it's fine. But I will bring more too. I mean, we'll see what I end up having time. Yeah, Mr. Walrus, it's a midwinter recess, they call it, I believe. Schools just, it doesn't take much. And I'm not arguing it. Like, I'm not fighting it. It doesn't take much to just, hey, let's take a week off. Let's take this Monday off. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. You're prepping for Collecticon pretty early over there. You're never ready a week ahead of time.
I'm flying out Thursday at 6 a.m. So
oh, that's true. Yeah. So
we actually, like today I actually had I had lunch with some coworkers. So I'm actually continuing with a couple IPAs tonight. Very, very. I had a couple with lunch. I've had a couple since lunch. By no means is this going to be like 3 a.m. Collecticon Dan, but warming up for the weekend, I guess. Midweek warm up for the weekend.
Midweek.
But yeah, I had lunch with a few old coworkers, couple friends. So today that wiped out like a few hours, and then tomorrow night we got a thing. We're going to like a family thing, and it's dropping the kids off to the sitters and then taking off pretty quick. So it's getting right down there. Not too much time to go. Yeah, ex-coworkers, former back when I used to be a chemical engineer. Lunch with coworkers. Don't call your family that. Oh man. So Grammar Collect says Colorado schools do have the whole week off as well. So I guess it's just not just a Northeast thing, maybe a northern United States, maybe if you actually get snow, which we haven't had a lot. But
no, this winter has been terrible. We haven't gotten hardly any snow.
Northeast needs more breaks. They aren't built like the Midwest. But yeah, plan for tonight. I don't know what your thoughts are, Nick. Probably 12:30. Like, I don't want to go super late. I do have a little bit of stuff I have to wrap up after this tonight.
Yeah, I was telling because I was just on eBay Live, and I was telling everyone there I had to wake up at an ungodly hour of 7:30 this morning.
Oh,
so
God.
My body is not used to waking up that early. I did not know that was a time. So I am tired over here.
Ponga wants us to end it now. Well, it's been 6 minutes. It's been a good ride. Been a good. We'll wrap up season 3 there. No, yeah. As always,
I'll be seeing him, or I hope I'll be seeing him. In a couple days. Ponga, you better come.
Oh, Dallas? I don't think he's doing Dallas.
Chicago.
Oh, that's right. Post Dallas Collecticon. I thought you were gonna say you'll be seeing him a couple days on YouTube, because actually, for anyone who doesn't follow Beerski Collects, Kevin's got a nice channel over there. He's got what's he call it? It's Beer O'Clock. He's had some good interviews over there. Some of the a lot of people who don't have channels, which it's good to see and hear from. The people that I typically just see and hear from, maybe when I cross paths at Collecticon, it's nice to get a little bit of regularly scheduled content with them. And yeah, so Beerski and Ponga starting their own podcast. What is it? Boxed Nostalgia or something like that? Yeah. Thursday at 1 p.m. I believe. If we got any wrenches in here who can throw a link, I believe it's just being. No, it's on its own channel. That's right. Because I think I was like the 5th subscriber, like 5th or 6th subscriber. So go check that out. If Walrus can drop a link. Another new challenger enters into the Pokemon podcast space.
Yes. We started a trend. I think.
Yeah, starting our 4th year, so we'll see. We'll see who makes it. That's going today. I guess counting up till Thursday. Who's going today that will be here in 3 or 4 years? We'll see. I expect us to be here in 3 or 4 years still. Hopefully that's the case. But we'll see where we go. But yeah, as I was starting to say earlier, as always, it's a Q&A. Feel free to leave your questions. We'll answer them as we go. We'll probably talk about upcoming Dallas Collecticon a little bit if we don't have too much guidance with questions. And we'll probably try to wrap up between 12 and 12:30, somewhere in there, wherever feels natural.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's your, so I guess since while we wait for questions, what's your plan for this week? Like do a little self promo. What's your schedule for this week? And then I guess from there we'll lead into what are your strats for Dallas? Like what's your plan for Dallas?
Yeah, so this week I don't have too much going on. Gonna be doing a live on eBay again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Be there or be square. And then I fly out to Dallas on Friday. So Friday morning, fly out to Dallas. And am gonna be there the whole weekend, which will be nice. I'm actually for the first time ever, I'm not vending at a Collecticon. I've never not gone and vended. So that's gonna be a really interesting experience. I'm curious to see how it goes. The goal is to go with a whole bunch of cash and hopefully buy a whole bunch of stuff for these eBay lives. So anyone looking to sell stuff, you know who to call.
I'm looking to sell stuff. Hit me up. Buy me out.
But yeah, so that'll be figure I'll walk around, get to talk with people. Hopefully gonna meet some of the people that go into the eBay lives all the time. So that's gonna be exciting to actually meet some people there. And I want to do I'm gonna do some type of YouTube video I don't think it's gonna be like a good vlog type video, but it'll be something. Where basically I go in with $1,000 budget and I buy as much good stuff as I can Saturday morning. And then Saturday afternoon, I'm going to be doing an eBay live. I'm going to start it at what time? It's going to be like 4:30. So I figured you guys, the show ends at 6. You guys will be back at the hotel at 6:30. So if I start my show at 4:30, I'll be done at 6:30, so we can go grab dinner or whatever. But basically take that $1,000 budget and buy as much good stuff as I can, and then sell it all during that one show Saturday afternoon, and see whether or not I make money or I lose money, break even, what happens there. So that'll be kind of fun. I'm excited for that. And then I think I'll probably do the bulk of my actual buying on Sunday. Unless there's some good deals on Saturday, but I have a feeling Sunday will be the better day to do the bulk of the buying.
Well, I'm assuming if something were to come along that was more than $1,000 on Saturday, you'll just buy it and you'll just keep it separate, right? It's not like you're gonna only spend $1,000 on Saturday.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I definitely have a bigger budget that I want to go with. But it's just that $1,000 will be. I'll hopefully be able to keep it separate. Have like one of the what are those things called? The Black Card X boxes, just for that stuff, and then put everything else in my suitcase or my bag.
I was going to ask you, what's your strat for buying? I mean, I've seen people have wagons like I have for our kids that we tow around the kids at the zoo in. I've seen people with just backpacks with the with these cases that I think you're talking about here. Yep. Are you just going to have a couple of those in a backpack or whatever? Or?
Well, the nice thing is I know a good friend of mine is vending, so I figured
with a section, yeah, you can just deposit stuff there.
Exactly. I'll park my suitcase and my Zion case at your table, and hopefully make some frequent trips over to you.
I heard very reasonable rates too. I heard it's only $200 per day to store a bag all day, fully insured. So pretty reasonable from what I hear.
So I'm excited for that. And then from Dallas, I'm gonna fly out Sunday night, and I'm flying into Chicago to meet up with Walrus, and we're gonna do a big eBay live Pokemon Day stream from noon to 9 p.m. on Tuesday, National Pokemon Day. So that'll be a lot of fun. That's where I'm meeting up with Ponga, PokeFlipz, possibly Mertz. I don't know if he's coming, but that'll be going. We're all going to the Capitol Grill on Monday, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then hanging out there for a couple days.
Yeah, sounds like fun. Little like maybe a glimpse at what Chicago Collecticon will be. Just a slight glimpse towards that.
Yes.
Just to cover my week quick, I'm going to be going to Dallas fairly early. So flying out of where I fly out, upstate New York, you get one choice. You get one selection. It's like, what day do you want to fly out? You don't get to pick the times. You don't get to pick the airlines. This airline flies out at 6 a.m. and it flies back at 6 p.m. Thankfully, I'm not complaining because thankfully it's at least direct. So I'm flying out at 6 a.m. on Thursday. The wife and I are going. And we're going to I don't know what we're going to do exactly, but we're going to do Dallas, just the two of us for a day and a half. And then I'll be around for whatever festivities go on Friday night. I'll definitely be present. But getting in a little early, checking out Dallas. And then, vending. I think section 38. I believe I have section 38, and then Jake has half of section 39. One and a half. We've got 15 tables with the lot of us that are going. Looking forward to it though. I notably will have, and I do see. I will say I see the questions coming in. Appreciate people bringing the questions in. I'm starring those. We'll get to those in a little bit. But yeah, A lot of my good stuff is at the eBay vault. So I will notably have a significantly lower amount of higher end stuff. I am still going to have packed full cases. I actually shipped down 2 full shoe boxes. So it's a little CGEC, little BGS, little PSA. I'm doing like a actually the front of this one has it right here. I'm doing $20 each or 6 for $100, and then I'm doing all the way up to like the highest end. And there's 4 different pricing tiers: $40 each, 3 for $100. So it's all like cheap $20 to $40 slabs. Get a discount if you buy a handful of them. Two things packed full. I think if you do PSA only in these shoe boxes, it's like 120, and if you do BGS, it's like 90 maybe. So probably a solid 210, 220 slabs. Hopefully those all go. Like I really don't want to take those back. And then on top of that, I'm going to be filling this case. I actually have like 8 or 10 of these OPO 5 boxes. They're like $270 a piece that are like dinged. They got sent in from my distributor all loose. That they came in dinged, and then I piled them on the shelf and I knocked them off the shelf, so they got like double dinged. They're pretty rough looking. So I think I'm gonna bring those and just make some cash sales there. But yeah, the inventory, I do have a box coming. I'm actually picking up a box in person, so I'll have a fresh base set unlimited box if I decide to crack that there. Maybe I'll just throw it in the case. I do have maybe 2 heavies left from the last one, so I'll wait to crack that until the other one. But we'll see how it goes. Definitely just notably lesser quality stuff, because hard to not send for the 0% eBay vault.
Mm-hmm. You just have the one box? I'm surprised.
The one, this you mean? This?
No. The WotC box, one base unlimited.
Oh yeah, I have the heavies from a jungle box, like half the heavies from a jungle box still.
Okay.
And then I'll probably dig up some other packs. I might, like, once the wife packs out the luggage, and we don't check anything. We just do carry-ons and then personal items. I might just like fill the void spaces with Paldean Fates packs, 151 packs. We'll see. Maybe I'll throw a couple Japanese boxes in there. Nothing crazy. Like I said, these one-piece boxes. But yeah, I might end up coming across some Topps packs, some random things like that. We'll see. Squeak's trying to sell you all his Pokemon Go.
I was just gonna respond. You're too late, Squeaks. There was back 2-3 months ago. There were a few people emailing and posting on Facebook with just a crap ton of Pogo. And
like
I bought
tens of thousands of packs, right?
What was that?
Didn't they have tens of thousands of packs? Didn't they have cases of those, like distributor cases, like 700 packs or whatever?
Yeah. One of the guys that I was talking to had, it was like 105,000 packs.
Yeah.
Absurd.
Yeah. There we go. We got Grammar Collect. Squeaks, how about you Pokemon Go make some new content? There we go. We got Ponga buying packs for $1.50 a piece. I'll pay $151 a piece. Allison Silverland says you should sell some of your merch there, Dan. One thing that I like, I definitely mentioned it in a live stream or in a PokeFlipz beforehand. One great thing about Stream Elements, it enables me to have merch to begin with, because I would never, if it weren't for them doing like produce to demand, on demand, it would be, you know how miserable it would be stocking small to extra large, like all the sizes, all the colors. Like, great thing about Stream Elements is people just go in, they order what they want, it's produced to demand. Like, it's a little more expensive due to that. I'm sure if I were to buy 100 of every SKU, 100 of every color, every size, I could probably get the price down some, but I'm just not about that. Like, there's like, looking at anyone who's watched Daily Refinement and Tekken Sports, selling clothes just sounds so miserable. Like having to worry about all the different sizes and colors, and then beyond the sizes, it's like, well, we have it a little bit, right? Like, is a 9 a 9, or is it a lucky 8, or is it an unlucky 10? you have to worry about like, oh, well, is it true to fit? Is it a double XL that's true to fit, or does it fit loose, or does it fit tight? Like that all sounds terrible. I would never sell merch if I had to actually stock it myself. The only thing, a couple people actually, like maybe one person asked me, somebody definitely mentioned it somewhere. Will you have some of your play mats? Will you have some of your desk mats there? That's the only item I could ever see myself actually stocking, because it's like one SKU, it's one item. But otherwise, like, no way. Clothing, I guess the hats too, like the hat, like there are a couple colors, but a one size fits all hat is nowhere near as bad as a shirt. But yeah, the merch system, the merch environment that Stream Elements has is so clean and smooth. Yeah, so I'll try to be better about like staying with the current relevant topic comments as we go, and then I'll fish back to the starred ones too. Damn, this didn't pan out like I thought it would. See, that's what happens, Squeaks, when you stop lurking. You're lowering your productivity. You're getting sucked into the live chat, and then yeah, it goes that way. Sometimes it goes south. But thanks for hanging out, Squeaks. Nice to see you in the chat. Nightwolf wants to know, are you going red hoodie or white hoodie for Dallas?
I don't know if I'm gonna need a hoodie for Dallas. What's the weather like down there?
Hopefully not. Pete, somewhere in the chat, Peak said it was like 36 yesterday, and then it's 80 today.
Man, quite the swing there. No, I was expecting to wear shorts and a t-shirt. I'm hoping to.
I'm not even gonna look at the weather. I'm gonna wear a light jacket. I'm gonna wear like shorts in 20-degree weather when I'm flying out of New York. I always do that because it's like I want to be comfortable on the plane. I'm not wearing jeans on a plane, so I always fly out in shorts and a t-shirt with a light jacket, and all I'm packing are shorts and t-shirts. Like, so I'm just gonna stick it out whatever the weather is. Shorts and t-shirt, like it's got to be. I mean, that's why I'm going to Dallas in February. Here we go. Classic 12 wants to know, at your grading volume, do you guys ever regrade things? Ever do BGS GCR, which is graded card review, or just keep churning? So 99% of the time, I grade it, I sell it. 99.9% probably of what I've graded, what I've handled graded, I just sell it on. 2 years ago, approximately, I had a nice failed. I think it's coming up on 2 years. It was summer of 2022, maybe. I was calling it slab optimization. Well, I cracked out a bunch of CGC, blue labels. I cracked out some PSA, some BGS, like a little bit of everything. A couple hundred cards. And it did not go well. I had figured that I only needed a handful of 10s to make it make sense. And I got a couple 10s, but I got a couple 7s and 8s from former 8.5. Like, it did not go well. These days, I am definitely like, the exception would be like if it's actually have right in front of me a CGC 9 base first edition Zapdos. So it's base first edition. I can't go like replace, like I can't go pull this card. I can't go replace this card for anywhere reasonable. It's a very hard to replace card. If this card looked 10 quality, I would crack it. It looks like a PSA 9. Like it looks like a PSA. No chance it's going to get a 10. Given that it's a blue label CGC, like it might still be worthwhile to crack and grade with PSA and then sell it as a PSA 9. But yeah, the only times I would do it would be the exceptions where it's like feels like it's an undergraded, hard to find, hard to replace item. But most stuff that I grade these days, let's see if I have something in front of me. I actually have a lot of WotC in front of me, so not really. But I'm not going to crack a PSA 9 Celebrations Charizard. It's like I'm going to sell it for $90, take my slight L, break even, whatever, and I'm going to go buy more raw. Like, there's no sense. Like 90% of graded Pokemon cards, probably 98% of graded Pokemon cards are just so plentiful, raw mint plus, that you don't crack it. You just buy another one and then go again. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Where are you on that?
I'm the same way. I never got into the I would say probably like less than 10 cards I've ever cracked and resent in. I would always just move on to the next one. I very rarely look at like really closely look at everything as submissions come back. It's more so just organizing them and getting them listed or put into bins, whatever. Yeah, I guess like you said, on like a high end card, like something like really expensive that looks really good and it gets like a 6 or something, then yeah, then I would look into it. But 99.9999% of the time, just move on to the next thing.
Yeah, it's all about like what you've got. I assume people are not frequently cracking out like Moonbreons, cracking out Celebrations Charizards, like anything that's just so you go on TCG Player and there's 50 near mint copies. Like you just go again. I think some people on occasion do get wrapped up in it, but I think the vast majority of what gets cracked is like WotC or mid-era, like stuff that's harder to find mint to begin with.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Coyote Bacon, hey guys, can you both tell us exactly how much money you have in the bank? Just round to the nearest 8 figure if you want. 8 figures is $10 million, right? So I can confidently say I have $0 in the bank, rounded to the nearest $10 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like 0.0000.
But I actually like liquidity wise, I since I've been in the hobby, since I've been in the space, back when I started with $5,000 fund money or whatever thrown into it to see how big of a collection I could build, I've always had a liquidity goal, and 90+% of the time I've never been there. I'm pretty much there right now for the first time in a long time. Like I'm trying to stay really liquid. I like low 6 figures, very, very low 6 figures is where I want to be. Not quite up to 8-figure territory, but we'll see if we ever get there. But yeah, I envision, like, I don't know if or when it's going to happen, but I envision sometime in the next 2 to 5 years that there could be a lot of benefit to having a fair bit of free capital, free cash to just buy big collections. And it's been quite a while since I've bought any. I haven't really been looking because I'm working nights right now and I'm trying to catch up on a bunch of stuff. But come summertime, especially more going into fall, I'm going to be trying to aggressively try to start finding collections and stuff again. I'm looking forward to that actually, because it has been a long time.
That's wild. You haven't been buying stuff.
Yeah, I sent it in Discord recently, but I got some kind of an email from my credit card company saying for the first time in a long time, my overall credit had dropped below like 30% utilization. And I'm like, well, I've failed as a flipper. I've failed as a business. Like, how do I not have my cards charged higher? And it's not because I like carry a balance of higher than 30%. It's because every month I charge like 50 to 100 grand, and then I pay it all off, and I do it again, and I do it again. But I think it was January. I didn't even charge over 30% utilization on my cards, and it was like, man, I am really, I would say slacking, but like by design. Like that's what I'm trying to slack right now on the buy side. So I was like proud of myself to see that.
Yeah.
Class at 12 wants to know, Dan, upcoming buyer's premium impact on your eBay vault usage, or still planning to send everything 250 plus? So I, as of right now, maybe hopefully someday things might change, but as of right now, I pay the full shot on eBay. I pay 12% on eBay, and eBay vault is 0%. Someday, at some point this year, it's going to be 3% buyer's premium. 3% is significantly less than 12%, 75% less. So I am going to heavily continue to use the eBay vault. I do not think the buyer's premium is much of anything. Some amount of buyers out there are paying 5-10% sales tax. So 3% buyer's premium, like I'd rather it not be there. Like I'd rather the vault just be free forever, but that's obviously not reasonable. I think only a 3% buyer's premium isn't even that reasonable. So I wouldn't be surprised if it were to go up at some point. But yeah, the 3% buyer's premium is not scaring me. It's not slowing me down from anything that I'm sending in.
I don't think anyone's going to get scared away by that. I can't see it changing anyone's outlook.
And then Ponga actually asked one that ties in really well. When the 3% buyer's premium hits for the vault, do you think eBay should allow the seller to absorb the fee instead of the buyer? I hate that they're doing a buyer's premium. I really wish it was just a 3% selling fee. And some people might say that, well, what's the difference? It doesn't matter. Like, who cares? It's just semantics. It's really not, though. Like, especially doing a buy now vault consignment that I do. It's just so frustrating and annoying. Like, I right now, as of today, there are no hidden fees. As of today, I will sell your cards in my eBay vault for 1 to 4%, depending on their sale price, as long as they're more than $250, $25 minimum, blah, blah, blah. But as of today, no hidden fees. Whenever they start doing that, well, now there's a hidden fee. I'd rather they say it was a 3% selling fee, and then I would just sell for between 4 to 7%. And I would say, hey, it's 4 to 7%, and there's no hidden fees. But when I sell a $1,000 card for somebody today, you would net $960. You would net 96% of that. But starting whenever this starts, the item's $1,000. The buyer will pay $1,030, and you will net $960. It doesn't even mathematically work out to be like exactly 7%. It's like some number really close to 7%. It's just annoying. It's like, why not just make it? They're just trying to hide it. They're trying to like obfuscate it away from the buyer. And like, sadly, a lot of buyers probably don't consider it, and they'll just buy it and then, oh, 3%, whatever. I would much rather, though, like, I think it's a big deal, and I think I would much rather they go as a seller fee. But Heritage, Golden, PWCC, all the competitors out there, they all have buyer's premium. So it's the standard. And I understand that the eBay doesn't really want to like buck the trend. They're just going along. I wish they would more call it innovate or whatever. Just do a 3% seller's fee and have it be that way. That's my preference, but that's not what we're getting, unfortunately. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't get your answer. Why isn't it the same? Why is it confusing? Like why isn't it not the same?
PWCC is
4% off of $1,000 sale. You're not seeing that extra 3%.
Well, when I sell $1,000 card, and this is one thing, I don't know how eBay will record it. Heritage, Golden, PWCC, when you're bidding, like I actually was just bidding on Heritage recently. I didn't win anything, but I bid like 20 grand on a full art Pikachu trainer. I bid like whatever it was, and it was like Heritage is 25%. So when I bid 20 grand, I put in the bid for 20, and then it says, oh, well, this is actually 25 with buyer's premium, or whatever the exact numbers were. I don't remember exactly, but it just makes it more confusing. It's like, I want to bid what I'm going to pay. So on eBay, from the buyer side, I don't want to bid, and obviously sales tax. And if you're watching PokeFlipz, you are probably in this space with some intent to profit. You probably shouldn't be paying sales tax to begin with if you're watching this right now. But it just makes it more confusing. It makes it more convoluted for no need. If a buyer's bidding and then they want to throw in a bit of $1,000, oh, well, now it's plus 3% buyer's premium. How is 130 Point going to record that? How is TCG Fish going to record that? How are these websites going to record that? Are they going to add it in? I know some do, some, but you just have that confusion, right? Like you never really know. I just don't like it. I think it's just the wrong way to go about it, in my opinion. But clearly everyone does it, so I guess maybe I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong on this one. It's the same as sales tax or shipping. You don't see that. I think it's going to be. You don't see that in your little CSV file that you get. And then on 130 Point whatever, you don't see that as part of the final sale price. I think it's going to be the exact same thing. And I'm glad they're finally charging the buyer something. Us sellers pay enough fees. I kind of think they're doing that because they want to, for once, they want the sellers to be the ones who benefit the most. And they don't want sellers to be I don't think it would discourage anyone from sending to the vault, but they want as many cards coming into the vault as possible. And to not have any selling fees will encourage people to keep sending cards into them.
James says, I've been told Golden sometimes pays out 110%. I can't believe Kenny G is so generous. It's just so silly. It's just so like people are really bad at math. So let's not start working at 103% and 110%. Like, let's just stick with this number and then work down. Like, people are better with straight subtraction, even though they're really bad at that. Let's start at 100 and work down from there. I think mathematically, in every way, it's just optimal, in my opinion. But whatever, it is what it is. I will no longer be able to say, whenever they start Buyer's Premium, I will no longer be able to say no hidden fees. I guess if you want to get like really down in the weeds or whatever, there's hidden fees to some extent right now with my vault consignment, right? Like if a buyer is paying sales tax, that's kind of it's a number that the buyer's paying that the consignor's not getting, right? I don't have any control over that
because the card is still selling for $1,000.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's still no hidden fees, Dan. You don't have to change anything. You are way overthinking this.
Two things Dan's passionate about: not eating vegetables and eBay vault. And 3%, like I'm just quite confident it's not always going to be 3%, and I hope we don't get to 5%, 10%, like 5%. If 10 years from now we could have a 5% eBay vault fee, if I could lock that in today, I would probably lock that in today. I hope they don't go to 10, 15, 20, 25%. Heritage though,
they will. That is
Heritage is 25%
going to happen.
Heritage is
not a chance they stay 3% forever. This
3% is crazy.
Their vault. Once they build up their vault over the next couple of years, they're going to slowly raise it every year. 5, 8, 10. I bet it'll always remain under 13% or whatever the normal selling fee is, but they are 100% going to raise it.
Yeah, 3 is crazy because like a good rewards credit card gives 2 or 3%. So 3 is actually like 0 is obviously mind blowing, but it's customer acquisition. 3 is still insane. If we get to, like, as I said, if I could lock in 5 for the next 10 years, I would sign that contract. I would lock that in. Because 3 doesn't feel realistic. Heritage up to $1 million. Heritage baseline rate is 25%. And I'm sure there's people that reach out and they probably have stuff that sells for a couple $100,000, 50 grand, whatever it may be. There's probably people who sell stuff sub 1 million that get 105, 110% of hammer. But like baseline retail rate at Heritage is 25% buyer's premium up to $1 million. And then it goes to 20%. Absolutely insane. And they
buyer's premium is 25% up to $1 million.
Yep, that's the default buyer's premium at Heritage. When I bid on like a Mew Orb, I bid really low on everything relative to what they were. I was nowhere near winning anything, but I bid on a Mew Orb, a Pika Ring. I bid on the full art and the half art Pikachu trophies, and I was bidding like 10 grand, and this is 12,500 plus the shipping, plus the insurance, like whatever else they charge on top of it.
Plus
crazy.
The credit card fee if you use a credit card.
So if I bid 10,000, I end up paying closer to 13, and the person who sent the item in gets like, I think there's like a seller fee on top of that. I think sometimes there's like a 5% seller fee on top of that. So I might pay 13 and the buyer might net, or the seller might net like 9,500. Crazy.
It is all very confusing.
I never thought Nick would outmath Dan live. Nick's faces as Dan is talking is cold. Oh man. Mr. Waller says, question: at the rate the eBay vault utilization rate is going, how are you preparing for when cards are lost or misplaced? Are you talking about like fulfillment side? If eBay were to, I mean, that's all owned by them. So if I send them in a card and it sells to somebody and they get the item and it's wrong. Like eBay, I've not run into that yet. I've sold hundreds of cards through the eBay vault and I've not yet run into that. I would think they would own that though. I mean, they would have to. That's the whole entire thing about like them being the trusted middleman. They fully own it. Final sale. Thankfully, though, I haven't seen it yet. But obviously anything with scale. I mean, all these things about PSA, grading a PSA 1 as a PSA 10 and vice versa, whatever. Errors are going to happen once you get to a certain scale, right? Like humans are involved. There's going to be, no matter how many checks and balances you put in, there's going to be some things that slip through. And thankfully, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I'm sure eBay would cover that stuff. Hopefully, it doesn't happen very often.
And on this one, and I do have more starred questions. I'll get off eBay Vault, but as of right now, we're kind of going for the eBay Vault questions. Wonder what eBay will start charging later this year for storage fees. None. Just like PWCC, no storage fees. There's that saying, if it feels too good to be true, it probably is. And there are certain things in this industry that like PWCC is fully insured, free storage. There might be submission fees. I haven't sent to PWCC in years now. I actually emptied my vault about a year ago, and I haven't bought anything. I haven't done anything with PWCC in probably a year now. But yeah, eBay Vault has no storage fees. They will do a submission fee at some point. So the way eBay Vault works, you can send to them if you have cards for more than $250 for free currently. Just like a promo rate. They knock off the submission fee. They waive it for some amount of time. Yeah, no storage fees ever is what they're claiming. No storage fees ever. 3% buyer's premium starting sometime this year. Submission fees starting sometime this year. But say you buy, like say you win an auction from Nick, say you win a auction buy now, whatever, on eBay, single graded card that's going to go through authenticity guarantee. Instead of going to you, you can divert it to your vault. And presumably there would be no submission fee there because it's going through the authenticity guarantee anyways. But there will be submission fees starting at some point if you're directly submitting to the vault.
And I think that makes sense, where everything does have to get authenticated.
I would like, I have a lot of, I think counting consignor cards, I have like 700 or 800 cards at the eBay vault. I would not go out of my way to like auction things that I don't want to auction otherwise. It's only a 3% buyer's premium. Like don't discount your items by 30% to save the upcoming 3% buyer's premium. If you think the card is going to crash, if you think the card is like headed down anyways and you want to get rid of the card, regardless, like do what you're going to do regardless. But I would not treat the looming 3% buyer's premium as like, I need to get rid of everything. I need to just fire sale, auction everything because that fee is looming. Like 3% buyer's premium is not a big deal. It's minuscule.
People aren't even going to notice it.
Yeah, it's a good rewards credit card will fully offset that. I mean, Walrus has got one for you. Can you sell through Live's eBay Vault inventory?
I would assume so, because all it is you can run auctions through the vault, can't you? Yeah, so all it is you're running an auction. Yeah,
could you run like a 30-second auction?
Show like a picture of it, because all eBay Live auctions are they're normal auctions that you just transfer over into the eBay Live. So I would assume you could.
So the eBay Vault, like, have you done anything in the eBay Vault yet or no?
I finally got set up with the eBay Vault, and I got my first submission ready to go out tomorrow.
eBay Vault listings are protected to some extent in that, like, you can't use bulk listing editor. Like, say I wanted to go in and I just wanted to slash every price 10%. You can't do that. You can't go in the same way. Like, say I have 200 buy now listings that I want to just drop 10%. You select them all and you go in and you do a bulk buy it now price edit, lower by 10%, boom, done. Like a few clicks, 30 seconds, you're done. You can't do that with eBay Vault. you have to go into each individual listing and revise the prices. Because it's like, they show up in the same place in your eBay, but they're like protected in different ways. They certain features can't be used the same way. You'll see once you get your items in there, but a little bit tedious when I have like a consigner that wants to bulk edit like 50 listing prices or something, which I've recently done. Just a fair bit more tedious. So Brad wants to know, have you ever sold a greater than 250 graded or raw, I guess?
I have, yes. And because what I do is I don't have any pictures or information. The title is eBay Live, the date and the number. The image is just my logo. So the first time that happened, I didn't even think about authenticity guarantee until the buyer paid and it said it was going to the authentication place. So I canceled the sale and I relisted it as like a regular buy it now and had him buy it the next day. And so that we worked around it that way. Now what I do is everything is listed in like mixed card lots. So
different category.
Nothing goes through authentication anymore.
Yep, they don't qualify.
Yep.
Makes sense. So there's that question. There's that one. Let's see. Danny says, I sent a few cards to the vault over a month trying to get title changes. Yeah, the standardized titles are not amazing by any stretch. Definitely, like similar to eBay Live, I would call the eBay Vault a bit of a beta phase. It still 0% fees. It's worthwhile for me. I've been very happy for what I've been able to do with my own inventory as well as consignor cards. I have quite a few consigners that have sent me an initial batch, sending in more regularly. Seems like most people are pretty happy with it too. Let's see. So Colt wants to know, back to Dallas Collecticon, if you had to choose, I'll let you go first here too. If you had to choose a musical guest other than Yin Yang Twins, who would you want? You can't say no one, and it will be at the same volume.
The only concert I've ever been to is Coldplay, and they put on like a really fun concert. So I would say them, which I don't think Collecticon would ever be able to get them, but I would have to go with them.
So I mean, Collecticon is about like 90s, early 2000s nostalgia. I'm gonna go right for like Alan Jackson or somebody, especially like Dallas, like one of these Southern Collecticons. Give me some of that late 90s, early 2000s country. Give me like Alan Jackson. Give me Garth Brooks or someone. Give me someone like that. I'm in for that. They probably won't draw a huge crowd that will like completely inundate all of our sections and make us unable to sell anything. So yeah, I'm going country for sure.
I'm not going to be going to that Collecticon.
Walrus says Conway Twitty for Dan. That's more like 60s or 70s. I don't even know exactly what that is, but Conway Twitty, he does have some good ones. Dan said Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks is amazing. Garth Brooks is awesome. I've been to several concerts. I actually, if Ponga's still listening, I watched Taylor Swift when she was an opener. I went to a Taylor Swift concert for her at the New York State Fair. She opened for Rascal Flatts. I've seen Garth Brooks. I've been to a handful of what did they call it? They called it like a festival of sorts, but like country fest they called it. So I've seen several different acts that I really liked. I'm trying to think what other concert, but Garth Brooks, Taylor Swift, and Rascal Flatts. I went to like an American Idol concert way back when, like probably when it was one of the first original seasons. trying like Kelly Clarkson or something. I forget who it was that had won that, but I've definitely been to more, but I can't think of any coming to mind. I'm not a huge music guy, much more of a sports guy. Rangers had a big W today. Rangers had a crazy win outside MetLife Stadium on Sunday. On Sunday. Insane comeback win in overtime. It was wild. Kenny Chesney, that'd be a good one.
There we go.
Nickelback, I'm aware of like the whole internet, like Nickelback's kind of a meme. Like people are very anti-Nickelback apparently. I can't name 3 of their songs probably, but I definitely know that some of them are like fine. Like I'm definitely not a huge Nickelback fan, but I don't hate them either. I can't name 3 songs, but there's probably 3 of them that I would listen to and sing a couple words and it would be fine.
Sing a couple words.
I don't understand the hate. I don't know. Dan's musical journey is dark. I know he went to a Kids Bop concert.
I can see it.
I've heard of Chris Gaines. Oh man, I wish I got to sing on one of the Kids Bop CDs. I definitely had a few Kids Bop CDs back in the day. That was good stuff. That was good stuff. Day one Swifty.
Swifty.
Let's see. Okay. Another couple starred ones. Oh, Dan, how excited are you for Ponga and Bierski's new podcast? I might have already answered that, but very excited. Looking forward to it. I kind of like Collecticons. My take is some people are probably like, oh, there's already too much Pokemon content. We don't need any more. Give me all the content. Everyone make content, and then I'll just pick and choose which ones I want to consume, right? Like, I mean, I'm a big fan of Bierski and Ponga. If the content they put out, if it doesn't work for me, like I just won't consume it. It probably will. I'll probably be watching them all. We'll see how it goes. But just like Collecticon, I think when Collecticon came out with 12 dates, Nick yourself, we had this back and forth on our prior PokeFlipz. Nick with his entitled self, he was like, oh man, this is too many. I want to be able to go to all of them. This is too much. Like, I don't want that. Give me all of them, and then I'll just pick and choose the ones I want. Like, I prefer that way. If they only had 2 Collecticons and my first cousin was getting married on one, it's like, oh, well, I can't go to that one now. And one hits a birthday or an anniversary or whatever. Maybe like I would rather have 12 of them and then just pick and choose. So same thing with content. I would rather everyone makes content and then I just pick and choose what I want. That's my take.
I disagree with the Collecticons. Still too many. But no, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to hearing them.
Yeah, if you're out there listening, make some content. Make some content. We everyone's got their own unique perspective, own unique way of interacting with the hobby, and I think it's all worthwhile. Yeah. What's your reaction to the recent Common Celebrations graded card prices reflected from Top 10's recent video? I did not watch his most recent video. I definitely don't watch all his videos, but I watch, usually I try to watch the weekly recap, but I'm probably a few weeks behind.
Well, surely you saw James's Instagram posts.
I don't think I did. What were they?
What a terrible friend. Oh my goodness, James.
So fill me in, fill everyone else in who didn't keep up with it.
So I'm assuming they're the same cards, but James recently sold. It was like 4 or 5, just like the hollow celebration cards, and they were PSA 10s, and I want to say, I don't know the pricing. I want to say like the cheapest one was like $250, and they went all the way up to close to like $500. I was shocked by that. I did not realize those cards were so expensive.
I see some as low as like 100.
What was that?
I see some down to like 100, like 100 to 200.
Okay.
But maybe they were different ones. I don't know.
Close to 5.
Nick's pumping. He must have just sent off a submission.
I swear there was something close to 5, but I was blown away. I did not realize those things were so expensive. I know they're really tough to grade, because like the classic collection is good print quality, but then like the normal stuff is absolute terrible print quality.
I will say this comment was me just being stupid. I did see this stuff about the Holo Celebrations cards, but I read the common celebrations. Those don't even exist. So there are no non-Holos in celebrations. Yeah, I should have made the connection, but I didn't. Like when I read this question, I'm like, oh, I saw something about the Holos the other day. I definitely didn't see Top 10's video on it, but I did see James' Instagram post. I did see that. I think it was shared in Discord a little bit too.
James, don't believe him. He's backpedaling now.
I think I commented on it. To be honest, I think I might have commented on that. I don't. Yeah, I did.
Jack commented 2 minutes ago.
No, 1 week ago. So top 10 actually commented, "This is the most insane thing I've ever seen." And I said, "Yeah, I can't believe a 9 went for so much either." Because James, he showed a PSA 10 Lunala that went for 310, and then a PSA 9 Unlimited Holo Dark Charizard that went for 260. So I was just memeing. I was like, "Yeah, I can't believe." I mean, yeah, the Lunala was a 10, justified. The Dark Charizard was a 9. Like, how's that going for 260? That shouldn't go for 260. So I commented on it a week ago. I just completely whiffed. When I read the comment, I'm like, I didn't see any non-Holo Celebrations cards because they don't exist. One day I'll get asked to be on a podcast. Mr. Walrus, face reveals well in the past, many appearances by Mr. Walrus out there for your content consumption. Too much YouTube content these days that overlaps with each other. Yeah, like there are a lot of people out there making a lot of content. Pick and choose what you enjoy. Like you don't have to watch it all. You really don't. I promise you. If Dan doesn't watch, I'll punch him in the face. Pong is trying to get his channel demonetized, banned day one for inciting violence. I will be watching Pong. I will not watch it this week because I will be in Dallas, but I will definitely listen to it next week. Maybe I'll listen on the flight home. We'll see. Can we all agree KC over Denver is trash? I was surprised to see. In Houston, Gary actually mentioned that Denver was like on the chopping block, and I was hoping that it would end up surviving. I knew that there were certain locations that were potential long shots, but potential that were closer to me that I was rooting for. But yeah, I would rather they had Denver than Kansas City. I probably won't be going to Kansas City someday though. Like memes aside. I know we got the Discord where we arrange who's going and running the sections and stuff. We've got tumbleweeds, a literal tumbleweed in our Kansas City sheet there, because no one signed up for a table yet. But I'm sure it would be a good time to go to Kansas City Collecticon still. Remind me.
I hate to say it, Grimer. I know you live there. I was not a big fan of Denver. I think it's probably better than Kansas City, just because nobody seems to go to Kansas City or have anything good to say about Kansas City. But I don't know. Denver was not outside of like Swami living there and it being fun with everyone going there.
Denver was Swami's. Like Denver was 100% Swami's. Yeah.
Oh yeah. For sure. Denver is an area
which made
I did not like it there.
Which made it worthwhile. Wasn't Denver like over a 10-minute walk from the recommended? It was a solid walk, I think. Yeah. That's actually one thing. And just recently, I don't know if you saw it yet, because we were talking about it in Discord. I know you're not a big Discord guy, but New Jersey is like a 15-minute drive recommended hotel to the convention center. And on
Really?
top of that, like say you wanted to stray from the recommended hotel, I think the closest hotel is like a 5-minute drive. Like I don't think there exists one that's just like a walk connected.
I didn't know that. That's
One of
not
the
good.
biggest things for Collecticons for me is like it is so good being on site, like being right there, waking up in the morning, rolling out of bed, walking across the street at most, maybe walking connected within the same building. Like that's optimal. But yeah, like I really don't like when you have to travel to the convention center.
Yeah.
I hope in the future they continue to do more like what Orlando was. And I think I don't even remember the hotel situation for Charlotte last year, but the first year of Charlotte, I remember we did an Airbnb that
Yeah.
was still a drive, but the original
Yeah.
Charlotte was not downtown and everyone had to drive, recommended Airbnbs, whatever, kind of like New Jersey is this year. But Charlotte last year, I'm pretty sure was like a block or two, right?
No, it was like 4 blocks. It was walking
Oh,
distance, but it was not that close.
like right across the street is I can't remember exactly, but I mean 4 blocks, whatever. It's not a huge deal. Right across the street's best, but like a 15-minute drive, that's pretty rough. New Jersey,
Yeah.
I'm not vending. New Jersey, I'm actually doing like a little bit of a family trip, and I'm probably gonna pop in one day for like 3 hours tops. I'm not gonna be. Maybe I'll probably give my kids a little bit of money to go spend on the section or buying some stuff. But I'm not gonna be trying to source. I'm not gonna have anything. I'm just gonna be saying hi to people for a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
Dan sucks. Nick carrying the stream right now. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you, Brad. Finally, someone realizes.
Some recognition. Oh man. Yeah, Brokemon Cards is calling Nick out. Nick just sent out a 200 card submission of Celebrations Hollows, and he's on the pump. Nick is fully on the pump. Watch out for him, especially during those eBay lives. I mean, you run a 30-second sudden death, no one's got time to comp. I mean, people are just gonna remember that PokeFlipz episode. Oh, Nick said these go for $500. I'll pay $250. Watch out for Nick. Watch out.
Hey, whatever you said, 360 is pretty close to 5.
Nightwolf, no beard products whatsoever. I less grow a beard. I more just don't shave. I am not about like long maintenance process every morning. I just do like the minimal effort, minimal requirement. Sorry. So yeah, I'm actually probably chopping this off. I'm hoping Dallas is gonna be pretty warm. I'm not gonna go all the way down and not gonna be getting out the shaver and the shaving cream, but I'll probably go down to a 2 or something with the beard tomorrow before I go out to Dallas.
Really? Now I'm gonna recognize you.
It's nice for like winter. I mean, I still do have over a solid month or two probably of winter / very cold here in New York. But it's getting to the point. Like I had for lunch, I met up with some old coworkers and I had a buffalo chicken sandwich. Last night, my family went out for pizza and wings, and I eat food and it like the food pushes my mustache into my mouth and I like chew on my mustache. When I start chewing on my mustache, when I have to start using like 5 napkins throughout my eating because like it's just getting everywhere, like that's too much. It's definitely getting to where it's more work than it is. Like I'm just looking for the minimum amount of upkeep, and all the additional like wiping and washing that I have to do is too much upkeep. So yeah, I'm gonna be trimming it tomorrow. Let's see. Slow internet. I do see StreamYard yelling at me a couple times here. Apologies for that. I don't know. The neighbor must have just turned on Netflix or something. DSL bandwidth.
No, I think that was for me and him went back and forth.
Oh, okay.
He did like one of those arrows and said that's ban worthy. but I commented like right before that and said something.
Oh,
So then I was mad that he said I was getting banned, but he was talking to the person above me.
going back like 15 minutes, my wife texted me and said, we've seen Tim McGraw and Luke Bryan together too. So there's 2 more concerts that I've been to. Tim McGraw is actually a good shout. He would be a good one. Late 90s, early 2000s country. And I did see people saying, rest in peace, Toby Keith. He's one. He definitely has a handful of songs that I liked. He passed away a couple weeks ago. He's not somebody I'd put way up there. I actually have an aunt that's like was huge into Toby Keith. She went to a ton of his concerts. I definitely like some of his music, but I wasn't that big into him. Montgomery Gentry, I would say, for that era. But I think one of those two, that's like a duo, and one of them passed away. I forget which one. Oh yeah, I did see. I don't see it in here in StreamYard, but Java gifted some subs. Appreciate you, Java.
Yes, thank you, Java.
They're there. I found them, and then also became a YouTube member. Grimer says, I would have loved Niagara over Edison. Location for that is pretty bad for out of East Coasters. Yeah, like Buffalo area, Niagara area. I'm assuming you're talking about. That would have been nice. That would have been drivable for me.
Would have been nice for you. I like Edison better than that.
Do you like it when it's a 15-minute drive from the convention center?
That part I don't like. That part.
That's rough.
Be rough.
I guess it's like the biggest convention center in New Jersey. I guess it's a really big one, but that's
they have plenty of parking.
Yeah. If the parking situation's like miserable, I'll probably end up going there. If I can't easily park, like I'm not gonna walk a quarter mile with kids through Charlotte or through New Jersey, however it's set up. I hope parking is good and I can just go in and hang out a couple hours and then go. But if it's not, I'll just be like, I guess I won't be stopping in. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Probably be looking to Discord for some live in the moment updates on how it looks. Cole says, I don't think I've ever heard this before, but I really like it. And I know exactly what he's saying. I tend to walk in cursive after Collecticon. So long walks to the hotel, not a fan. I've never heard that saying, but I know exactly what he's saying. And I've had myself some cursive walks too. Oh, man. That's funny. So I had a question here. Stuart says, Dan, you've mentioned you operate on a cash basis and have also utilized long-term capital gains when possible. It's that time of year. You got to love the tax talk. Can you explain why it's okay to not pay taxes on something that was purchased pre-tax? So there are 2 things here, and all the disclaimers. I need to get a scrolling banner that says not tax advice like I used to have in here. But wait, maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I don't know. But oh, they're all saved from like way back when. I have it right here.
We used to have one. I don't know if we still did.
I have it right here. I have it right here. So yeah. Cash basis. There are 2 different types of cash basis. One is like when your items are received, when your expenses are realized. Are you crediting and debiting the amounts when they're actually charged? So like say on December 31st, I bought a booster box from Nick. It hits my credit card, $150 on December 31st, but I don't physically receive it until January 3rd, maybe. Cash basis accounting is like I paid for it in December, so I realized that in 2023 on my books because I am broadly cash basis accounting. Cash basis inventory is something different where I write that off in full in 2023 because I bought it in 2023 regardless of when I sell it. Accrual based accounting broadly, just general accounting wise, I would account for that in 2024 because even though I paid for it in 2023, I didn't receive it until 2024. Almost no one does that. That's like, I mean, almost no one in this space does that. I think everyone's pretty much cash accounting. But anyways, I'm actually modified cash. So I am cash-based accounting, but I maintain an inventory. I actually do maintain an inventory. So I am not cash-basis accounting for that. But I don't even know how to clear this now. Okay, there we go. I'll clear it. So I am cash basis or accrual basis in that I maintain an inventory. But can you explain why it's okay to not pay taxes on something that was purchased pre-tax? I don't know exactly what you're asking. So when I buy inventory to resell, let's just look at this box because it's close. I buy this from a distributor for $70. I buy it sales tax exempt because it's an item intended for resale. Say I sell it for $270. I think TCG Player Market is like $270 today. If I paid $70 for it and I sell it for $270, say it's a cash sale, no fees, whatever, I netted $200. I pay taxes. I pay income taxes on the $200 gain. If I were cash basis accounting, I would write off the $70 when I bought it, regardless of when I sold it. But since I am accrual and I maintain an inventory, I wouldn't write off the $70 that I paid for it until I sold it. That's the difference between cash and accrual, as far as I understand it, all that stuff. Long-term capital gains, that just comes down to depending on your tax bracket, all different kinds of stuff. I think collectibles is 28%, but depending on how much money you make, depending on what tax bracket you're in, 28% might be more or less. It might be advantageous. It might be a disadvantage to take long-term capital gains. But yeah, if you've held something for more than a year, you qualify for long-term capital gains. With stocks and stuff, that's like 15%. But with collectibles, it's 28%, I believe. Anything to add on all the tax talk?
No. No.
Have you done anything yet?
I think people, not directed towards Stuart, but I think people overthink it. It's not. The IRS isn't going to audit us. They're not looking at us. Do your best job, and you're good. You're good to go. You're good to go.
These statements are not a reflection of.
Oh God! Like last week.
These statements are not a reflection of PokeFlipz podcast. These are Old School Pokemon and Old School Pokemon alone.
Hey, I still stand by what I said last week and this week.
I think the biggest thing it comes down to is just a lot of people have no idea how taxes work. And I'm not saying I'm an expert by no means. I'm not certified. I don't do my own. I pay someone else. I pay the experts to do it. Panga, yes, tax questions. But yeah, as far as, I mean, I pay someone else because it is their full-time job to keep up with all the new tax laws, keep up with everything. And I see Vandy in here. I just completely lost where I was, but I do see Vandy. We got a tax guy. But yeah, as far as your question, directly answering your question, can you explain why it's okay to not pay taxes on something that was purchased pre-tax? I don't understand what you're asking there exactly. Maybe you've elaborated. Maybe I'll get down to it. But again, if I pay $70 and I sell for $270 net after fees, I pay taxes on the $200 profit. So your sales tax exempt because it's an item intended for resale, but no one is profit tax exempt. No one is income tax exempt, right? Well, I mean, I mean, like nonprofits and things like that, but everyone gets their standard deduction, and like everyone's first X amount of income is exempt through the standard deductions and stuff. But anyways, let me continue on. I'm gonna star a couple, and then I'll get back to them. I'm assuming there's probably some live comments right now that are relevant to the tax stuff, so I'll try to stay there if we're gonna be there. Colt says, I don't grow a beard. I just don't shave. Dan can't help but passively grow in all investments. It takes like 30 seconds to trim around your mouth, you animal. I've already trimmed a little bit, but I'm just gonna do it all soon. I'm gonna do it all. So we're at the point where I talked about chewing on my mustache, apparently. Here we go. What Discords are out there for collectors and sellers? So if you're a collector and a seller who has $10 a month that you would rather not have, I mean, the Pokenomics Patreon is out there. We have a Discord involved with that. But shout out to Professor Oak. Professor Oaks is probably the one that I engage with the most that is free. So many YouTubers, though, have their own Discords. I don't know if there's any other ones you want to shout out, Nick. There are so many, like, scarier than a paywalls are so evil and scary. Anyone can get in. Like, you just pay $10 and you're in. We open up the door and you come on in and everything's good. There are some so evil, so secretive, you can't even buy your way in. They can't even be named right now. So watch out for those. You think paywalls are bad?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say Oak's Discord. That's what I would recommend. I am not on Discord though. That is such a time sink.
It is.
I waste enough time on Instagram.
See, I don't do a whole lot of Instagram, but I do way more than enough Discord to compensate. Vandy in here, lovely sign off from working 14 hours and I come to cash to accrual conversations. Well, Vandy, hopefully I didn't steer anyone in the wrong direction. Hopefully everything I said made sense there. I'm an S corporation, so the corporate deadline is March 15th, and my accountants to get to where they don't charge me a lot of extra money. They like to have my stuff a month early. So I get my stuff to them by February 15th. So as of right now, I've already handed off, as of last week, I handed everything off and my accountants are doing their thing. I would expect in the next week or two, I'll probably get a question or two like, hey, can you clarify this? Hey, can you provide a little more information here? And I'm pretty much done though. And then by March 15th, I'll get them my personal stuff, and they can't do my personal until they generate my W-2s, and they do all the corporate stuff that feeds into the personal.
Stuart replied what he meant.
Okay, let me Cole says the IRS is not going to audit us. Definitely throw the banner up. Yeah. Nick's apparently providing audit insurance, and I feel like I heard the word guarantee in there, maybe financial guarantee. I don't know, but those were, again, the words of Old School Pokemon, not PokeFlipz. I'm trying to not skip anything. Oh, there we go. We got Mr. Walrus linking the paywall. You love to see it.
He'll link a paywall, but he won't link Ponga's podcast.
Oh, there is
rough.
There is the Collecticon planning Discord that we have as well. That's more geared towards actually facilitating. Hey, who's gonna book the section? Who's gonna be in the section? And then I know Josh, the old card shop. He has a convention, a broader convention Discord. It's not just Collecticon, but it's like Card Party and a bunch of local ones. And there's so many out there. It's kind of crazy how many are out there. But yeah, let me get Stuart's comment here because I just made it and I don't think I skipped anything. So Stuart says, what I meant was, it doesn't feel right to benefit from writing something off the year that you purchased it, then also benefit from long-term capital gains the year that you sell it. Seems like you'd be double dipping. Oh, very valid. So I'm not cash basis accounting. I do maintain an inventory. I fully understand what you're saying. So if you were cash basis, I think long-term capital gains would be a kind of a moot point, right? Because you're writing it off the year that you purchased it anyways. I don't know exactly how those would interact. There might be a way, if you're cash basis accounting, to benefit from long-term capital gains, but I genuinely have no idea how that would interact, because as I said, I am cash basis accounting on the fact that my expenses are incurred in the year that they were charged, not in the year that I received the item. But I am not cash basis accounting when it comes to, I actually do maintain an inventory. If that makes sense, which to most people it probably doesn't. They check the box for modified cash on mine. And I have a start inventory and an end inventory every year. Zard Lurking 92 says Rusty says hi. I did see that Rusty was live earlier, ripping some packs.
I didn't even notice that.
I think Andy was actually live too with Java. I don't know if they're still live or not.
Man, everyone's live tonight.
It's a great thing to have, right? Like it's a great thing to have so much content that you can just pick and choose what you want to watch. I think, like I try to not overlap with people if I can help it, but usually it's like, hey, I'm pretty busy these certain nights, and I can go this night. We're going tonight because tomorrow night I want to get to bed early, and I got to fly out at 6 a.m. Thursday. So it is what it is, right? So Danny says there's no capital gains for cash basis. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not cash basis. I started my business before the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, before that 2019 thing that changed doing cash basis. And there are pros and cons to each. In a lot of ways, I prefer accrual because you actually keep better track of what you're actually making. Whereas it doesn't feel like it makes much sense. But once your inventory gets so massive, it actually does make sense that some amount of people do business, probably don't even have a good concept of how much money they're making because they're selling such old product. Like how much is very old inventory and such. Here we go. We got accountant in here. Technically, you would declare what is held for inventory versus held for investment. Purchases for investment aren't expensed immediately and held as basis until you sell. So in certain instances, cash basis filers have to account for some amount of investment inventory potentially. I don't know exactly how all that works, but definitely consult with a professional on all these things. Let's see what I started. So here we go. I did drop a message, and Nick, I'll be interested to hear if this happened to you. One of my distributors, I requested 180, so 30 cases. I requested 30 cases of Temporal Forces, and they told me I'll get 144. And I requested, I forget how many. Like I'm not gonna make a video, Temporal Forces, short print, blah blah blah. Like I'm just sharing information that I've seen. My other distributor, like my primary distributor, is the one that I asked for 30 cases, and I got what is that? What is that? 24. So I got 24 out of 30 cases. I haven't been allocated on any Scarlet and Violet set. Like I'm not trying to cause FOMO. I'm not trying to do any of that stuff. I'm not pre-selling my product or anything. I'm just gonna sell it for market price or not sell it if it's super low. But yeah,
it's gonna be super low.
Yeah, I expect it probably will be. I mean, I'll probably be not low list on eBay. I'll probably price my eBay so that it's like barely above break even, and I'll probably move very little product.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what are you seeing for Temporal Forces? How much are you buying? I'm getting 30 cases through the one, well, 24 cases through the one distributor, and then maybe like 6 through the other. I don't even know.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues. I actually so one of our distributors said if you order X amount of boxes, you can get them for X price. And I don't like working with that distributor. So I called up the distributor that I do like working with and said, hey, my other distributor says I can get this price for these boxes. If I order that amount, would you guys price match? And he said he would. So I ordered 100. I think I ordered 100 and what? It's 100 and not 150. Or is it 150? 148? Whatever.
150 would be 25 clean cases.
Okay.
150.
So yeah, that makes sense. And I got 150. Damn,
you got more than me then.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to complain now. Oh, I'm getting 70. No, that's ETBs. They drive me nuts. One of my distributors, they give me like I want cases. I don't want to deal with loose ETBs. They're giving me 72 ETBs. It's like give me 70 or give me 80. Just keep the two.
How they do that?
I do
was
not want 2 ETBs. Apparently, I'm getting 10 cases though. I'm getting 60 boxes from them.
I was looking at something. One of the limits is 5. It's going to be like Crown Zenith or 151. It's like 5 ETBs.
Oh,
make it 10.
well, yeah. The one distributor for the past several months, if not a year, they've had several sets that are like limit 1 box, limit 2 boxes. And it's like, I don't want boxes. I want cases. So I actually reached out to them. I don't know if you're interested in doing it or not. Maybe they'll be mad at me for suggesting it to you. But I'm like, hey, I will not order for the next 6 weeks. I want to order a case today. Like, give me a case today. Or give me in 6 weeks if you still have it. Give me a case then. I don't want to do 1 box though. Like, what am I going to do with 1 box? I buy and I sell by the case. So they actually did it for me. I was like, you guys are doing limit 2, limit 3, limit like anything, whatever the limit was. I'm like, multiply it by 6 and let's do that. And special circumstance, special thing, like they did it for me. I'm actually going to message them again sometime soon and see if they'll do it again. I don't know that they will, but worst thing they say is no, right? We'll see.
Sense. It's making their life easier too, because I'm sure only shipping 1 booster box, because like the packaging is so different. They have like standard like 2 booster cases per box. They have those boxes, but they don't have a single booster box. You gotta fill it with a ton of bubble wrap or whatever.
Well, they have minimum orders anyways. Like I would have to pad that out with other product anyways. But yeah, like 4 booster cases is kind of the standard. 4 booster cases is 48 pounds and it fits in a 20 by 12 by 12.
Yeah.
So like anytime I order from them, I try to order in like 4 case intervals so that it is clean for shipping and clean on my end receiving it. And I just have like stacks of those 20 by 20 by 12 by 12 boxes. But yeah, it's so annoying when it's like limit 5 ETBs, limit 2 booster boxes. I just don't really want to deal in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For
sure.
Ponga's got a Discord for botting Pokemon Center. Oh man. Dan sounding real phony now that there's a tax pro in chat. Oh man. Who's got a good question? Peek?
You're almost there. Yeah.
Actual question. Appreciate the stop sign because it really helps amidst all this memeing. Do you think English 151 SIRs or Japanese 151 Master Ball reverse hollows will do better in the long term? That is a good question. I wish we got like I don't really care that much ultimately because I'm not much of a collector these days. But I think it would be good business wise too if we had got Master Balls in English. So I kind of wish we did. I think it very heavily depends on the specific card you're talking about because I don't think Master Balls or SIRs will universally outperform the other, but I think the better Master Balls will be more valuable than the better SIRs. Or I guess outperform. It's hard to say though, because those got so high. I don't follow them that closely either. So I don't even know exactly where they're at.
They're still expensive. Pikachu's still 300. Like the less popular ones are 20-ish bucks, 15, 20-ish bucks. Most of them like then 20, 30, 50, 70.
And
like
what are the English SIRs?
Charizard's like 110. Blastoise, I don't even know. Blastoise
I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Might be like 50. Venusaur, Zapdos 30, 40. Erica 30. Giovanni 20.
I'll guess Master Balls, but I don't really know. Complete guess. What do you think?
I agree. I think Master Ball's 100%. I just think they're really really cool. They're the coolest reverse hollows that we've had since the Legendary Collection. Firework reverse hollows. And they're really tough to get too. Only getting one Master Ball per 20 packs or one booster box. I really like the idea of Master Balls. I do think those are going to do well long term.
Well, Colt said I should have stated PSA 10s. I wouldn't put money in either. To be honest, like I think it's which one will go down less. Like if we're talking 2, 5, 10 years, and maybe in nominal terms they'll be selling for more money than they're selling for today. Maybe I would not be surprised if they were selling for less nominally than they are today. In real terms, though, in real inflation adjusted terms, I think they'll be cheaper than they are today in like 10 years. Both of them. I think both are probably overvalued generally.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it's still too soon. Because like you wouldn't want to be buying PSA 10s to hold long term right now, just because you would want to wait a while longer. But
and he's talking about English quality factoring into that to some extent. I don't know what the 10 rates are on 151.
Well, it's weird because we got the ETBs in September. Print quality on those was absolute garbage. And the pull rates were tough too. Now, just from my own experience. But then we got the UPCs in October. Print quality was really, really good on those. And the pull rates were also good on those. So I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
It looks like Charizard EX number 199 from 151. There's 120 PSA 10s. There's 222 PSA 9s. So it's pretty tough to grade because obviously people are doing some amount of pre-grading and they're only getting 35% after that.
Yep.
The PSA 10s are $400 though. Like to me, $100 card that becomes $400. I don't know how difficult it is to pull, but that just feels high. And this is not advice. Like this is not, don't go act on that. But I think these things trade down and to the right, especially in real terms. I think it's which one loses less if you're trying to pick the better of the two. That's my thoughts.
It'll be interesting. I think 151, with how much demand there is for 151, and I think that demand is always going to be there.
I'd rather hold sealed.
Normal set, yes. For this,
give me loose packs.
Different.
Loose packs outperform any graded card from any of the sets, I think.
If we're talking single cards, I like the Master Ball. But if we're talking sealed product or Master Balls, I like the sealed product.
So today, here's the experiment. Today you have to allocate $10,000, 5-year hold plus any product from 151, any language, any single raw graded, sealed. What are you holding?
Japanese boxes.
I'm going to go with English loose packs. That is literally the only one I have in inventory right now. Like I have some amount of UPC sealed, maybe 100 UPC sealed or something. And then I've a lot of loose packs though. And I think the loose packs outperform any of the raw, any of the graded personally.
I would agree. I would agree with that with the sealed. I do think Japanese is going to do better than English with the Master Balls.
It feels like they could be reprinted again. Obviously, it's the age-old question, like, are we going to get more reprints or not? No idea. But that's part of why I choose that too. like risk adjusted, right now you're still able to get 151. I think I have a weekly limit through Matt Al, but I can still get a little bit of 151 product, I think.
I think you can get like the Zapdos boxes or whatever that one is.
Yeah,
it's
like
it's the worst one.
But all I want is the packs.
Box.
I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna throw the promos into a 5-row. I'm gonna throw the packs into a 5-row, and I'm just gonna hide them somewhere and find them in 5 years. Here we go. Mr. Waller's got a hot take. Theme deck cases are the worst product of all time. Only a fool would collect them. A fool, I say. Fully agree. There is no other reasonable take.
That hurts.
I didn't actually see the question before it, but yeah, John Fell says, thoughts on prices of vintage sealed theme deck cases. Many auctions sell for less for a sealed case than collective value of the individual decks. Base, 2-player. So base and 2-player starter, I will say, are like, especially the 2-player starter. 2 million of those were printed. I don't know that the number is like rock solid, like guaranteed it's exactly that, but there are the number 2 million for base 2-player starter decks was thrown around in various publications back when I did like a deep dive on print run estimating and stuff for the paywall. So that is extremely plentiful. I think that once, like Nick mentioned a few episodes ago, recently getting like you start talking legendary collection, you start talking late WotC, it's a completely different ball game. Those ones are worth a lot more. Still super niche. That there's still not many people out there going for those. The base, the 2-player, those are a lot more mainstream, I guess, just because it's the first set. But they all are also a lot more plentiful.
Yeah, it is strange though how I think it's just because they're so niche and not a ton of people are collecting theme decks, but you can pick up like the cases for less than the individual decks if you're going through like auction pricing. It is strange.
It's not that strange though. Like in Pokemon, many items are, the whole is worth less than the sum of its parts. Like I know a little bit of controversy, right? Those sheets that got cut up, no one values the whole more than the collective market values the sum of its parts. Like you take that one sheet, turn it into 100 singles. It's worth a lot more as 100 singles because you have 100 individual people that can start buying into that. And you open up to a bigger, in that funnel, right? Like the bottom of the funnel is someone that buys a full sheet. The bottom of the funnel is someone that buys a sealed case. But at the top of the funnel, you got people buying those individual 8 decks. You got people buying those 100 individual cards. Same thing with a booster box. Like I've got a jungle box here in front of me. Jungle boxes sell at a discount. Base Unlimited boxes sell at a discount to what people can just rip them and sell them for live on a live stream or whatever. Because one, there are a fair few out there. And it's just easier to get that spread amongst many buyers instead of one. It's like a very common thing in Pokemon.
The pricing is what gets me. Like a WotC booster box, okay, that makes sense. But when you're talking like a 2-player starter deck, like John said, there have been a couple recently that sold for $1,000. So you can buy a case of 8 for $1,000, or you could pick up an individual deck for $200 or whatever it is. It's like $150, $200. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense with those where the pricing is so much lower. But I guess for some people that is still a lot. So maybe it's just the same thing.
For a lot of people, like don't lose context. Don't forget how deep down we are in this. $1,000 to the average Pokemon consumer is more than a year of their budget for this hobby, right? Like we definitely so many times take for granted how deep we are in this, how like the average Pokemon consumer is not watching this. The average Pokemon consumer buys a couple packs here or there at Walmart, or maybe if they have an LGS or whatever. We're way in it.
Yeah.
Theme deck cases have the worst presentation. Zero good art.
The heart over there.
Mr. Walrus is not working towards a nice big tax time bonus, looks like.
I don't think so. He's not getting any bonus. He's not even getting treated out for dinner at this rate.
Here's one for you. You go first.
What is the most expensive card that you would pay up for if it showed up at CollectCon and would buy on the spot? Well, I know Dan's answer. Anything you can make money on. My answer, though, honestly, my plan right now is $200 and less. I really don't want to buy anything over $200 because I want stuff for live inventory. I don't want to be buying unless it's like a crazy good deal. Like someone comes up to you with like a PSA 10 first base Charizard and says, "Here, you can have it for $50K." Okay, then I'll buy it. But I don't want to be dumping a ton of money into a really expensive card. Even if I could make 5, 10, 15%, once you get up to like 20, 30, 40%, then it changes. But I would rather use that money to be buying for these lives and growing the eBay lives. So I think long term that's gonna pay off in dividends. So for me, unless it's a crazy good opportunity, I'm not buying anything over $200.
As you said, anything that I could make money on. If I had a buyer in mind, occasionally I get people that hit me up like, "Hey, I'm looking for XYZ card for this much, this grade, this much, this grade." If I knew I had a buyer on lock and like, I would buy whatever. I would buy an Illustrator. I would buy a base first Charizard if there was margin there and if the deal was right. But generally speaking, I actually had some new cards made up. Got my nice vault consignment rates. That's what it sells for. Sorry, Mr. Walrus. Mr. Walrus made me this great graphic. The QR code got cut off. So thankfully,
you didn't listen to the Vistaprint thing.
I know. I made these in a rush. I made them last week. They got delivered today. I was like, I need to go back and I need to look at it. I was toying with the danger zone because they tell you like if you get outside this, it might get cut off. I was a little bit toying with it, but the QR code is non-functional, unfortunately. But how many people actually use it? I don't know. I only have 100, thankfully. I only have 100. But I would push my.
It doesn't send you to like some adult inappropriate.
Yeah,
website.
Yeah. I would honestly rather like if a very high-end item comes up, I would try to push to like consign it. I don't want to deploy high 5 figures. Still today, barring one like weird situation that I've kind of talked about before that there's no need to go into, the most expensive card I've ever bought, and it was like a batch of cards, was like 20 grand. One single card that I like sold for a lot and then I bought it back for less, but it was still a lot of money. That whole weird thing, that's technically the most I've ever paid for a card. But yeah, like my number one Pikachu trophy, I paid 20 grand for it with the champion stamp, the whole run. That's the most expensive card I've ever bought under like normal circumstances. I really don't want to buy another one that's more expensive. It's so hard for me to like mentally be able to get over. And there's absolutely plays there. There are people that buy $10,000 cards and sell them for 15. It's just a lot riskier. It's a lot riskier. I'd rather save 10 grand to buy a big binder collection and buy it at 70% and then make my 5 to 10% after fees on the non-gradables, and then make my money, real money, in what's gradable. Like that's where I want to be. I really don't want to be throwing out 5-6 figures on these crazy high-end cards hoping they go up. I'd much rather just buy at some fraction of market and immediately flip for higher percentage of market, right? Ponga says, Dan, can you ship me one and sign it? Yeah, sorry, Mr. Walrus. Sorry for putting it was a last minute thing. I'm like, I really should have something there for the consignments, and it'll be easy to resolve. I mean, I just need to shift it down and then, but that was my bad.
Who ordered?
It's okay.
That's my question. You ordered batches of 100?
I order by 5. I order by 5,000 for my normal thing. I knew that this was a risk, so I only ordered 100. I wanted a handful to hand out at Dallas, and then I'll have new ones coming in after. Thanks for stopping in, Colt. We are, as far as I see, and apologies if I missed anyone's questions, I think we're fully caught up with chat. I think we're fully caught up. Oh, right here. John wanted to know, will we both be at Collecticon this weekend? Yes, I'm going to be in Section 38, and then Nick will be sometimes in Section 38, but he will be roaming the floor, making some big deals, making some big buys for eBay Live. So if you're there, definitely come say hi. For John and for anyone.
I'll be walking around, roaming the floors. I'll have my old school Pokemon shirt on, either that or this sweatshirt. So you'll find me.
Oh, cool. Yeah, John said he will be there early Saturday. So yeah, I'll definitely be at my booth the whole time, unless I'm on a bathroom break or something. But look for the tall guy. I will be wearing some KetchumAllCollectibles merch. I'm not a big indoor hat guy, but maybe I'll bring this with me. We'll see. Maybe I'll be sporting the KetchumAllCollectibles hat. Probably not. I don't like hats. I used to wear them some. See, I used to, and this might be blasphemy. This might not be the fashionable thing to do. I used to really fold my brims.
The flat brim.
No, like the sticker definitely comes off. I know some people leave them on, but maybe you don't leave them on when it's from you Pung. Maybe you take that off. I used to really curve them though. I used to really curve them pretty tight for when I was fishing, when I was playing golf, keeping the sun out of my eyes. I hate snapbacks. This is the style hat I used to wear, but only fishing or golfing. Never indoors. Never like right now. Never.
It might be the blue on blue, but that looks absolutely ridiculous on you.
Maybe I'm with you. It feels I feel ridiculous right now. I don't know how people do it, but it's there. I mean, I haven't put the link below in our PokeFlipz yet, but I'll have to put that below.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta pick some stuff up. I gotta do a shopping spree.
The desk mat is plus EV. Those things are undervalued. They're massive. 36 inches by 18 inches. It's a nice, huge surface to pre-grade your cards, sort your cards, whatever. You should get your own. I mean, I'll buy some. I actually have a green shiz mat that just came in today. I'll definitely buy myself some old school Pokemon merch if you were to make some.
There we go. Well, we might have some coming. Walrus is working something up. But the thing with me though is I can't do, like, I want merch for the eBay Lives, and I can't do it through what you use, Streamlabs or whatever.
Stream Elements, yeah.
I can't do it through that because I want to sell it through eBay Lives. And obviously you can't be sending people to another website.
Shirts are going to be miserable though. Like personally, I would say, like, if you want to do mugs, if you want to do hats, if you want to do play mats, desk mats, stock them. There's one SKU. It's easy enough. Shirts though, do you want to have 10 pink women's small old school Pokemon shirts? Do you want to have 23 large men's black old school Pokemon shirts. Like, I'm not about any of that. No way. Like, Stream Elements is nice for that.
I wouldn't go the stocking route. I would do the pre-order route. So like on one live, maybe 1 or 2 lives, say, hey, if anyone wants to get a shirt, we're doing shirts for whatever, and then take everyone's order and then order it and have it made up then.
And you're gonna serialize them, right? And sign the tags.
Well, I don't know. Did Wallace mention that? I don't know if I should give this stuff away.
Nightwolf says flat brims go well with a long beard. Ponga's a sucker for merch. The hat made me look like a drive-through cashier.
Yes, because then you have the little ear thing too.
If people want to drive on through Section 39, I mean, I'm all about it. If it fits if it works. KetchumAllCollectibles here. Can I take your order? I'll have 3 of the $40 slabs for $100. I'll have 6 of those, and I mean, if it gets people like moving through, I'll run it.
Oh man.
Mr. Walrus wants to know when's another breast cancer fundraiser. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that little challenge thing that I did. It didn't get any traction. Not that I expected it to, but like, I mean, I was hopeful that a couple of big people would pick it up. I think the biggest one who did was Rusty. Rusty did accept the challenge and made a video, but maybe again someday. I'm not going to do the same thing over, but I've had it in the back of my mind that I'll potentially do something again. It was a fun little thing. I would have hoped it would have gotten bigger, but it still raised several $100s for a good cause. May I take your order? He probably loved it when I said it. Yeah, damn, he beat me to it. Oh man. But yeah, if people have questions here in the waning moments, feel free to ask them. Anything else to cover, Nick, before we wrap up?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything. I don't think there's anything else pressing to talk about.
I know, as we always do, we have a few guests in the talks. We don't have anyone firmed up for next episode, so that'll be a surprise whenever we submit someone in. But yeah, we'll target for March 8th. We'll target for being back on our 2 weeks from now on the Friday. We'll have to see what our guest is able to do, though. Appreciate everyone hanging out. This is actually a good question. Are you pre-printing any labels to ship stuff back, or you're checking a couple bags? What's your plan for getting inventory back?
Yeah, I'm going to. I checked 2 bags, so I'll have 2 checked bags. I'm going to bring my Zion rolly case and just a backpack. And obviously, most of that stuff is going to be empty on the way there, and then hopefully it'll be all filled up on the way back. But I think that'll be plenty of room, because I bought a lot in Long Beach last year. And I was vending there as well. So I had all the stuff that I originally brought, plus all the stuff that I bought. And it was filled, my suitcases, but I was able to fit everything. So I think that'll work again this year.
Brad said so he's gonna run on a room within 15 minutes, basically. If you're buying a raw, you can fit, I mean, a 1,000 count box that does not take up too much space. Are you, like you said, your luggage will be empty? Are you bringing like shoe boxes or anything like that? Or, yeah, like these hold 120 PSA cards. Say the average value is $20-25. You're talking $2,500 per shoe box. Like, I mean, a couple of big check bags, you can probably fit 8 shoe boxes in, or 10 shoe boxes in, right? Like, I mean, you could easily, you could, I mean, and that's if you're buying like bargain bin stuff. If you're buying a little bit of higher end stuff too, a little bit mixing in, you could easily fit 50 to 100 grand worth of stuff if you wanted to. I mean, significantly more if you went super high end. But yeah, I think you'll be good.
Yeah, I don't think space will be an issue. I was worried about that for a little while. I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be.
And you mentioned, are you wearing like a? Are you? I know Josh the Green Shiz has worn like a GoPro type thing almost. Java did too, I think, at Charlotte last year or 2 years ago. Are you just going to use your phone for making the content you're going to make, or are you going to be like strapped with something?
No, I don't even know if I'll I don't think I'll film like interactions of like making deals and stuff. I think it'll be mainly like maybe like a few clips walking around, and then just back in the hotel room with everything laid out, showing what I bought, and then a breakdown of what stuff sold for, and what I made on it.
Are you gonna do like car pulling out of the driveway,
No,
buying the Dunkin' Donuts?
I don't think so. I'm not good. I'm not creative enough.
I like those videos. I just don't have I don't have the creativity to like know when to turn the camera on, and I don't want to do all that editing and
exactly. I would love to make that video, but I don't know how.
Yeah,
and the editing would be absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that for sure. But yeah, it's coming in hot. Ready for Dallas Collecticon. Really looking forward to it. I already have my video for Monday recorded because obviously I'm getting back late Sunday night and not gonna have a time. So I'm probably gonna do a live next week where I'm gonna ask questions about it. I'll semi recap it, but I probably will do a full recap video. I'm not the vlog guy, but I am the 30 to hour long PowerPoint guy for recapping a Collecticon. So I'll probably do that as my standard Collecticon recap video, and then I'll get into the tax videos for the future ones beyond that for sure. Question: if Nick is off, do I get the time off too?
No,
gotta be right.
Employees. They work 24/7 while I get to take time off.
Yeah. But yeah, that's we've been at the bottom of chat for a while. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Thanks, Nick, for another great episode. Sub 2 hours. We're gonna close this one out sub 2 hours.
This might go down as the shortest PokeFlipz ever.
I feel like we've done an hour and a half before, but I'm not positive. But yeah, hope to see you guys again. Section 38, half of Section 39. Jake will be over heading up the half of Section 39. So feel free to stop by. Thanks for hanging out. And as always, we will catch you all later.
See ya.